Alright, what's going on, guys? My name is Ryan Hamilton. Welcome to the Panda MX5 channel, and today we're going to be working on flaring out the front fenders to fit the 15x12s. Alright, so now that the wheel's off, first thing to do is detach the sway bar end links on both sides just so I can get the max droop and compression out of the suspension, and then we'll start messing with the coilover. Alright, so now that the sway bar is disconnected on both sides, I'm going to remove the coilover on the driver's side. That's the fender we're working on, and I'm going to adjust it and stuff, and then we'll put it back in. Alright, so now that the coilover's out, I'm going to adjust it a little bit. I'm going to talk about that in a second, and then we're going to put it back and then start on the fender rolling. Alright, so we got the coilover out and up here on the workbench. What I'm going to do right now is mark it exactly where it is, both collars and the actual thing, so I can set it back where it is when I'm finished. The reason I can't take the coilover completely out and leave it out like I did with the rears is because the spring is a contact point for the inside of my new wheels, just because they're so wide they hit on the spring. So I need it in there while I'm test fitting to make sure everything works. So I just lower it all the way, that way I can get full compression on the control arms and the suspension, make sure I'm not rubbing on anything. So I'm going to go ahead, mark these where they're at, lower them all the way down, and then stick it back in the car. Alright, so this is all the way lowered so I can get full compression on the strut and the control arms while I'm test fitting. So right now we're just going to throw it back in the car, do the two top ones first, then just slide the bottom one through. I'm not going to put the nut on it or anything. And the top ones I'm just going to make hand tight just so they snug up, just so it's not flopping around or moving or anything. Alright, so I just got the coilover put back in with it all the way down so I can get compression out of it. Now I'm going to get ready to set the fender roller up. I'm going to bang a stud out like I did with the rears, except on the fronts they actually will come all the way out, make my life even easier. So I'm just going to go ahead, smack a stud out, start setting up the fender roller, and then we'll start pulling this out. Alright, so I got two pairs of vice grips up here in this corner, just kind of clamping everything together. Then I also put a bungee cord from the bottom of the front bumper over to the subframe, just to keep it from flexing outward as much when I'm rolling on it. So now I'm just going to go ahead, throw the fender roller on here, and start pulling it out. Alright guys, so I just did the first wave of rolling on the fender. I got the wheel put on there, and we're about to start jacking it up, doing a test fit. I have a feeling it's going to need a lot more, but I just want to see where I'm at and what are the problem areas. That's actually already almost good on the rolling part. The front's going to need a little work. It's hitting right there. I knew that was going to happen anyway. I had to do that on the other side. The upper still needs to be clearanced a lot. The inner fender well, like the frame rail up there, needs to be hammered out. So yeah, just a little bit here in the center pulled out. The rest of it looks pretty good, pretty decent. So let me grab a Sharpie. I'm going to mark that area, pull it off, do a little bit more rolling, and start hammering on the inner fender. Alright, so I just did a little more rolling on that problem area right in the center top. I got the wheel thrown back on there. We're going to do another test fit, and then probably start trimming on the edges and hammering up that inner fender. Alright, so that's it jacked up. I have plenty of room all the way around here. It's actually over rolled a little bit, so I'm going to tap that down, shape it with a hammer a little bit. So next I'm probably going to start on trimming this corner area right here, and also on hammering the upper fender well. Alright, so I have the corner all cut out and basically clearanced a little bit. I'm going to have to do another test fit later and see, but I think it's all good. So what I'm going to do now is start hammering up this up here, just so it'll fit with the taller tire that I have on my new wheels. And you can see all the rub marks from where it's already rubbing with my 9s. And the new ones have a taller tire, so it's going to rub even more. So I'm going to take an 8-pound sledgehammer and just bang the heck out of this and give myself some more room. Alright, so I just did a bunch of hammering up on the inside there. I'm going to do another test fit, see how it is, see how everything's looking. I know the outside fender is good. I'm going to check clearance on the corner between the bumper and the fender, and also the clearance up top. Alright, so it's all jacked up. It's actually going very well. We're hitting a little bit here on this corner, which that's just because you can see the fender curves down a lot right here. I'm just going to grab the roller and bend this piece out, or grab pliers or something and bend this corner out a little bit, just like that, so it's out of the way. And then it is hitting up top just a little bit, so just a little bit more hammering up there and we'll be all good. And then this obviously needs a lot of shaping and getting it to fit correctly and everything. But I'm just going to take the wheel off, do a little bit more fine tuning. Alright, so that bolt's way up there that holds the corner of the fender on Miatas. This side actually doesn't have it, or it ripped out or something. So when I was rolling this out and hammering it, it kind of bent out the gap up here on top. So there's a lot of gap between the headlight. So I'm just going to bend the bumper down a little bit, take this corner of the bumper off, move that back up, get it all bent up into shape with the headlight, and then stick a new screw and a bolt and stuff in there just to hold that. And then it's going to need a little more tapping up top, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so I just did a little more hammering. I'm going to talk more about what I had to do with that bolt situation and stuff. I'm still not 100% finalized on it. Gonna need a little more work, so I'm just gonna finish that at the end and let you guys know what I had to do. So I just hammered a bunch more on the inside. I'm gonna throw the wheel on, do another test fit, see if we have any more areas that need to be hammered or rolled or trimmed or anything. So we're gonna throw it on right now. Alright, so after that test fit, it is still hitting up on the inside a little bit. I'm gonna go back and hammer that some more. There's a little more areas off over here I need to trim. Some areas on the fender I'm just gonna tune to the hammer a little bit. I'm probably not going to film any of it though, just because it's all the same stuff, you've seen it, and I'll come back to you when it's all good and fitted and I'm starting on the fine-tuning process. Alright, so it's been about an hour later. I was messing with this fender for a while. The gaps still are not perfect. We got some weird spacing, like this is really far here and then this is really close over here, but I'm going to fix that at a later date. I don't feel like messing with that today. I just want to get the fender all done. So right now I'm just going to throw the wheel on, do a little bit of hammering, get everything lined out like the other side, get the whole arch curved out and all that kind of stuff. So I'll probably set you up on time lapse. I'll just be hammering back and forth, taking the wheel on and off. So let's get to that. Alright, so everything is done on the left front fender. It's all flared out, it's all tapped out, the shape is all pretty good. It has bumps obviously from being pulled out that far, but that's what Bondo's for. We're going to be body working these entire fenders, the whole car, going over fixing all the things wrong with it. I just went ahead, sanded it all down, got all the cracked paint out of the way, discovered some more Bondo of course. So we're just going to hit it with some spray paint, just like the rear, same exact thing, inside, outside, just to protect it from rusting. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so that's the end of the left front fender. I'd already done the right front previously, just so I kind of knew what I was doing while I did this whole thing. So today was the last fender. All four fenders are flared out. So next I'll be getting the springs so I can actually get the wheels on the car, get my spacers and everything figured out. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.